They've been here since 5 o'clock in the morning. Are you excited for race day?
This is Sportscentre.
Hey, I'm Marissa Roberto coming to you bright and early from the Bell Activation Zone here at Jeux Villeneuve because it's race day, baby. That's right, it's finally here. After the crazy downpour rain we got yesterday, the forecast is actually looking pretty good for today. Now, since we were with you yesterday, a lot has changed. Nico Hülkenberg, who was in position 2, was hit with a 3-grid penalty, meaning he's now 5th with Fernando Alonso moving up to 2nd. Lance Stroll was also hit with a 3-grid penalty, so moves back all the way to 16. I mean, not the best position for our fair Canadian, but it's okay. We still believe. All season, it's been nothing but dominance from Red Bull, as Max or Checo has won every race of the season. And with Max on the pole today, are we in for more of the same? Well, the odds seem to think so, as he is a heavy favorite. I mean, it's tough not to bet on Max, honestly. He's just a star. The car's a star. He's a star. What are you supposed to do? And you can watch the Canadian Grand Prix today on TSN. Coverage begins at 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 a.m. Pacific. Okay, a team we've really been locked in on all week is Aston Martin. With the only Canadian driver in Lance Stroll, plus one of our favorite all-time drivers, Fernando Alonso, they really are a team everyone is talking about here in Montreal. So let's go into the garage and take you into the world of Aston Martin with the latest edition of Roberto on the Go. We're gonna check out Aston Martin's garage. Wow, let's go. What a crew, cannot wait to take you along for this ride. So first we saw all the headsets and everyone had a specific preset just for them. These are the pit crew helmets, also all labeled, and this is Lance Stroll's special helmet just for this race in Canada. Each QR code atop the helmet is a specific place here that means something to Lance, like Lower Canada College and this Japanese restaurant called Park. Then we ran into who else? Tim Hauraney.
Upgraded car, by the way. We got a new floor. How do I feel about being in Roberto on the Go?
Yeah.
Oh, it feels great.
That's right, baby, another pit stop practice. Then I did a little snooping in Fernando Alonso's garage for Taylor Swift, of course. What is DZ thing?
I used to be in here, and everything in here looks very expensive.
It is. Now we move on from the garage to the suite.
We're just gonna have a nice
Okay. This is where the drivers and some of the team will hang out and have water out of cans. That's how you know you're up. Just like these fits, Aston Martin wins best dressed and best lunch. We'll get a Fernando Alonso and Lance Stroll sighting. Oh, and look at that, Tim. Listen, are we a little more sweet on Aston Martin after we had that lunch? Maybe. Time now for the Mercedes AMG Minute. He's been with us all week and really a superstar around these parts. Seriously, just walk around the paddock for 5 minutes with Tim Hauraney and everyone wants to stop to talk to him. Last year, he joined us early Sunday morning with his walk to the track, and he's back with us doing it again. Tim Hauraney, thanks for joining us.
Marissa, thanks so much for having me on. Really appreciate it. Thanks to producer Chris, too. This has been awesome. Had a lot of fun all week. This is a walk. It's not a sunny walk. It's actually a little overcast, but definitely excited for some racing today.
Okay, Tim, can anyone knock off Max Verstappen today? And just by being around you this week, I know you're probably going to say it's Fernando Alonso.
Hey, come on. How did you know I was going to say Fernando Alonso? I mean, it's a shame, obviously, what happened with Nico Hülkenberg getting that penalty, being dropped back to P5. Still think Haas can score some really good points this weekend, though, however. With Fernando Alonso, it's going to have to be full send mode, Marissa, into turn 1 on Sunday here. And I think that's the only way anyone can stop Max Verstappen. He's just been obviously on fire all season long. I think for Fernando, though, it could be difficult simply because of the 2 Mercedes behind him. They can run alternate strategies and they can pretty much attack him and possibly take that podium position away from Fernando. So he's definitely going to have his work cut out for him this weekend. And yeah, I mean, this could go either way. It could be Max, Lewis, and George Russell on the podium here at Canadian Grand Prix. But, I mean, it's going to be tough for anyone to grab Max.
Tim Hauraney, thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy the race today. Okay, yesterday on the show, we had part 1 of our sit-down with team principal for Red Bull, Christian Horner, where he disclosed his interesting superstition about a favorite toilet, and honestly, I vibe with that. Also, anytime I can have toilet talk, potty talk in any interview that I do, it's a win for me. Sadly, there's no more of that in part 2, but I think you'll like it anyway. Do you have a specific track that you love to hit during the circuit? And you don't have to say Montreal. I mean, it'd really be nice if you did.
No, look, I mean, Montreal is one of my favorite venues. I mean, it's a great circuit. It's a great town. The whole town comes alive.
Yeah.
You know, for Grand Prix weekend, it's like a carnival. So Montreal's always a highlight on the calendar. But,
yeah,
you know, there's so many, I mean, Singapore, Melbourne, you know, so many great venues that we're going to. Of course, Las Vegas this year.
We talk about Jeux Villeneuve. Obviously, there's that hairpin turn, first
Yep.
of all, that looks a little intense. And then also, you know, the champion wall that drivers may hit that you mentioned, do you get a little nervous when they approach these moments?
Well, that wall has taken a lot of victims. So you know, it's you're always relieved to see your car come out the other side of it. But you know, both drivers were pushing hard today. I mean, Max got pretty close to the wall. Checo, I think, actually touched the wall. So, but you know, if they're not doing that, then they're not on the limit.
I want to just keep in a theme of Montreal and just make people from Montreal happy, of course.
Yeah.
When you're here, do you have a specific place you like to go, a specific meal you like to eat?
Well, you've got so many great restaurants here, and some great steak bars and restaurants. So there's just so much choice here. So, you know, I always go home a couple of pounds heavier.
Well, you've been Red Bull's principal from the jump. Do you remember that moment when you were named? Do you remember that time and space? Because it's been almost 2 decades now.
Yeah, thanks.
No.
Yeah, I mean, look, Dietrich Mateschitz, he gave me a chance. I was, you know, just 30 years old when he selected me to become, you know, the team principal, and I was determined to make something of it and repay his faith. Sure. You know, he took a gamble on me, and I wanted to make sure that I delivered, and he had a vision for what he wanted Red Bull Racing to be competitive and so on, and not just take part, but do it differently and have fun along the way and be a bit different and push the boundaries and so on. And I think that's what we've done over the last 2 decades.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say so. Heavy is the crown, though, and you've been wearing it for a minute. Do you feel enemies circling? Do you feel the sharks circling, wanting that crown from you?
Yeah, I mean, in this business, the faster you go, the less friends you have. And so right now we've got no friends. So you know, it's a competitive business, and yeah, but you've just got to focus on your own performance, I think.
Very eloquently put. Christian Horner, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you very much.
Christian Horner is so sweet, so charming, so kind. We didn't use it in the clips that we're showing you for the show, but he did mention his wife to me, and I took everything in me not to mention anything Spice Girls, even though I was wearing my sporty Spice pants, okay? I'm a Spice girly. And just a reminder, the Canadian Grand Prix is right around the corner. Coverage begins at 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 a.m. Pacific. And if you haven't done it yet, you need to download the TSN app, because you need to watch the race with the exclusive TSN augmented reality experience powered by Bell 5G. Just download the TSN app now. Do it. That's all for me today. Eric Kirk's going to be filling in tomorrow as I'm traveling back to Toronto. We'll see you again Tuesday.